Hello and welcome to this review of the Nokia Lumia 830. I've got one here in orange. I've been loaned this from Microsoft for 2 weeks. They're not letting me keep it, unfortunately, so this isn't going to be a biased review. But we're going to be taking a look at some of these features and how powerful it is and what it can do. It's a mid-range phone, so it's not going to be, it's not going to have the same feature set as some of the latest phones that have come out. So, for example, the iPhone 6 and the Nexus 6, but it's still a pretty good phone. So we're going to take a look and see what it can do. The phone itself is quite good looking, with a black bezel around the screen and a silver metallic casing around the edge. It's more of a square phone when compared to others on the market. I'm not sure how I feel about it. It's certainly distinctive, but I sort of feel like it would be nicer without seeing the silver coloured casing from the front of the phone. There are 3 buttons located on the right hand side of the phone: volume controls, a power button and a button for taking photos. The buttons don't protrude very much, so they're not prone to being accidentally pressed. I did find, however, that I would get the power and camera buttons mixed up, so that's something I'll have to get used to. At the top of the phone is the headphone socket and the micro USB port for charging. You don't have to use that, however, as the phone comes with a built-in NFC chip for wireless charging. There are gaps at the top and bottom of the phone for the antennae. These don't really show up much compared to the colour of the casing, and is far more subtle than the ugly gaps found on the iPhone 6. The back of the case is available in 4 colours: orange, green, white and black. The orange looks really nice in the promotional videos and under the lighting for this video, but in real life it doesn't look amazing. However, the back of the case is removable, allowing you to replace it with one of a different colour. So it's pretty cool that you can actually take the cover off. They are interchangeable, so you could buy, if you get bored of the orange, you can go for the green or the white or the black. The only problem is it kind of cheapens the feel of the phone, and some of it creaks, which is a bit annoying. I'll just hold this up to my mic, but listen to this. I mean, just sounds like a creaky bed. So that bit's not great, but the fact that you can add more memory to it is a decent trade-off, to be honest. Inside the phone is a 2200 mAh battery, which seems to last pretty well under our testing. There's also a micro SD card stock, which allows you to put in up to 128GB extra storage space. This phone comes with 16GB on board. The phone is fairly light, weighing in at 150 grams, which isn't too much heavier than my iPhone 5S, which weighs 112. This is despite it being slightly thicker and having an extra inch of screen space. Holding it certainly feels very comfortable. The screen has a 5-inch IPS display at 720p HD resolution. As it's not in Full HD, it only has a PPI of 296, which is pretty low compared to other phones such as the Nexus 5, which has 445 PPI, and the Lumia 930, which has 441. When looking at the screen, however, it still looks pretty good. In fact, the only issues we saw with it were in small text, such as those on the live tiles of the home screen. Some of the words look a little bit fuzzy around the edges. Other than that though, it's an impressive screen. The IPS display shows colours vividly and photos look great. It doesn't have an OLED display like the Lumia 930 does though, so the blacks aren't as dark as they could be. The viewing angles are also very good, and fingerprints show up a lot less than other phones that we have used. The phone does a decent job of handling graphics intensive games, but as it's a mid-range phone, don't expect to be blown away. On some games it does feel like it's struggling on occasion, so serious mobile gamers may want to look elsewhere. The screen adjusts its brightness automatically, although you can adjust it yourself. At its brightest setting it is very bright, certainly enough to give me some serious eye strain, but this will be useful on very bright sunny days. The phone has a 10 megapixel camera with an aperture of f2.2. This makes it very good for capturing close-up detail and capturing images in lower light situations. It can also record video in 1080p HD up to 30 frames per second. So we're going to take this camera now out on a sort of a little road test outside. We're going to take a few photos, a few videos, and we're going to whack them in now. So I'm filming this in my car. I'm doing it because it's quiet but sort of a little bit dark, so you get to see how this camera does in low light conditions. I'm using the microphone built into the phone, so this is how it sounds. It does a pretty good job, I think. It adjusts well automatically, does the exposure. Sorry, I'm opening my car door because the light keeps going off. Here we go. So it adjusts well for the exposure, and the focus sort of adjusts as you move the camera, and it does a pretty good job of that as well. Powering the phone is a 1200 MHz quad-core processor and 1 GB of RAM. This is definitely enough for a phone like this and for general use. It feels pretty quick. Only on a few occasions have we experienced any lag. Now this phone comes with Windows 8.1 pre-installed, which is actually a very nice operating system. Operating it feels very intuitive, and even things like rearranging and resizing live tiles is done with ease. More and more decent apps are being added to the Windows App Store, so it's definitely getting more competitive with Android and iOS. We really like the live tiles on the home screen. It's a nice compromise between the app icon focused iOS operating system and the more widget friendly Android. There are, however, some baffling design decisions in the operating system. For example, trying to change the settings of the phone is an absolute chore, with the different settings being displayed as one giant long list, which doesn't appear to be arranged in any sort of sensible order. It would also help if there were some icons to help people find what they're looking for a bit quicker. Menus aside though, it's a nice operating system to use. If you're looking for a decent mid-range phone and want to give a Windows phone a try, then you can't go far wrong with the Lumia 830. The expandable storage options and thin design give it quite an advantage over not just its competitors, but other phones in the Lumia range. Okay, so there's our review of the Lumia 830. If you found this video useful, please like, comment and subscribe. Check out some of our other videos, and we'll be back soon with some more reviews.